Images shared across social media show hauls of weapons seized from overrun military outposts in the north, exhausted. Soldiers surrendering en masse and even a military jet plunging from the sky after it was shot down. In one unprecedented image, Brigadier General commanders are pictured raising a glass apparently.
This civil war in Myanmar has become unwinnable for the Myanmar Junta. And that means that it's a matter of time before they lose this war. They're losing now, but it's a matter of holding on to some towns, using heavier weapons, artillery, airstrikes to buy time. If you look at the logic, the numbers, self-evident. I mean, they're losing troops on a daily basis, no new recruits, no reinforcements, no resupply. So soldiers are not willing to do patrols anymore. They get ambushed and so on. And the upper hand now has gone to the resistance forces.
With their former enemies after they were forced to concede defeat. In the key town of Lao Cai in northern Shan State, along with almost 2,400 men, Junta, Spanish word for meeting, is a committee or administrative council that governs a country following a kabididat, but before a legal government is established. The term was commonly used.
The defeat of the junta or the Myanmar military is not inevitable at this point. Their backs are to the wall. They know the only way out of this for them is to keep on fighting, and they will do so with great determination because of the costs of failure. So defeat is not inevitable, but it is looking somewhat more likely than at any time in many decades.
In the 16th century, to refer to a variety of government consultation bodies, juntas once ruled countries like as Greece, Chile, Mauritania, Guatemala, Brazil, South Vietnam, and El Salvador. The most well-known junta today is that of Myanmar. Since the military coup in 2021, Myanmar has been embroiled in a relentless struggle, witnessing a surge of defiance against authoritarian rule. The ousting of the elected government, led by Aung San Suu Kyi, ignited widespread public outrage, igniting massive demonstrations demanding the reinstatement of democracy.
The junta is responding to its losses and its weakness by training its sophisticated weapons obtained by countries in the international community on villages, on innocent people. So in the short run, that is the problem, a disaster on top of a disaster created by this military junta that realizes its weakness and is responding to that weakness by attacking civilians. That's in the short run, the disaster and what we as an international community need to be stopping.
Yet, as junta violence escalated, transforming peaceful protests into perilous endeavors, a new chapter unfolded. One where ordinary citizens armed themselves against military oppression, armed often with nothing more than makeshift weapons. Within this tumultuous landscape, a tapestry of resistance emerged, comprising diverse factions united in their opposition to the junta. Among them are the People's Defense Forces, PDF's grassroots, pro-democracy groups birthed in the wake of the coup, and older, ethnic militias long engaged in struggles for autonomy. While their common adversary is clear, their objectives and levels of coordination vary significantly. For years, the conflict remained deadlocked, with the military resorting to brutal tactics while failing to quell the resilient opposition. However, a seismic shift occurred on October 27, catalyzed by the Brotherhood Alliance, a coalition of seasoned ethnic armed groups launching coordinated offensives aimed at wresting control from the junta in the north. Now, despite 3 years of authoritarian rule, the junta finds itself increasingly beleaguered, grappling with humiliating defeats and mounting dissent even from within its ranks. Social media chronicles the shifting tides of war, from images of seized weaponry to mass surrenders of exhausted soldiers, and even downing of military aircraft. With 2/3 of the country engulfed in conflict, the junta's grip on power appears to be slipping, marked by territorial losses along strategic borders and persistent resistance in other regions. Dissatisfaction simmers among pro-military circles, with calls for leadership change echoing even from influential figures like ultranationalist monk Pok Sayarda. As Myanmar's struggle for democracy rages on, the nation stands at a pivotal crossroads where the aspirations of its people clash against the entrenched might of authoritarianism.